welcome back to Fair's Fair, and today we're going to be talking about MacGuffins and Chekhov's gun. Now, I mentioned that I believed One Piece was a MacGuffin hunt, but it occurs to me I never actually explained what a MacGuffin was. A MacGuffin is a random item that you are going to search for in order to achieve a goal.
Sir, you've earned this. I give you the MacGuffin.
And I consider a MacGuffin Hunt show something where the MacGuffin being hunted for is less of an important part of the plot and more of the plot happens because they're searching for the MacGuffin. It's cause and effect. Did you go to get the McGriddle because your ultimate goal required it to succeed, or because you were hungry? Did the plot need the MacGuffin, or was it the whole plot from the start? Cardcaptor Sakura had MacGuffins. Cards! They could have been talismans, beads, marbles, or dildos, and it wouldn't have changed anything. But unlike most MacGuffins, they granted powers to her that she'll need later. And however interesting that might be from a growing power kind of standpoint, the overall plot quickly abandons the MacGuffins and just decides, yeah, no, she got the rest. Literally retcons in some of the more powerful cards to get the real story moving. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they had more story than go here, get the power up, pretend not to notice your friend's raging lesbian hard-on for you, go to the next power-up, but the way they just abruptly dropped the MacGuffins was kinda sudden. That didn't stop it from being one of my favorite animes though. Seriously, good series. Maybe could have used a little bit of clutch swapping into the new storyline, but you know how it is. One Piece chose almost the opposite idea, however. The MacGuffin is the whole reason everything happens, but we never actually seem to get any closer to it. Things happen because of it, yet its size, shape, location, or what the treasure actually is a complete mystery. All the same, Luffy heads out to get it, and that quest Rube Goldberg's its way into every other interaction in the show. It's not like he was on an adventure, discovered he'd need the MacGuffin, and decided to set out for it. No, he set out for the MacGuffin, and everything else that happened around him happened solely because he was out searching for the MacGuffin. There was no one who was going to die if he didn't get the MacGuffin. There was nothing that was going to go horribly wrong if he didn't get the MacGuffin. He just wanted to be Pirate King, so he went out to get the MacGuffin so he could declare himself king. And on to our last example of a MacGuffin hunt, Inuyasha. There's absolutely no hint as to how close the MacGuffin is. Every encounter they have is in search of the MacGuffin, and the only reason they have any problems throughout was because they are searching for MacGuffin. How many pieces is the MacGuffin? Don't know. How close are they? Meh. Is everything going to be good once we acquire the MacGuffin? Fucked if I know. I could definitely look it up, but I'm actually not going to because I'm too lazy to actually go do that. But I'm pretty sure they never actually find all the pieces of the MacGuffin in Inuyasha, and everyone just kind of ends up where they started from anyway, which is like quintessential MacGuffinness right there. I'd like to point out that the Tomorrow War has a MacGuffin, an item they are going to collect. It is the poison that will defeat the bad aliens. They were not hunting for the MacGuffin, and that created their problem. They are attempting to acquire and keep the MacGuffin, the poison, because there was another issue that the MacGuffin will solve. The problem didn't arise because the MacGuffin existed. If the aliens existed because the poison did, well, I'd actually be really confused because that wouldn't make any fucking sense, but the point is that would be a MacGuffin hunt. A series can have a MacGuffin that they need to acquire without becoming a MacGuffin hunt. The Tomorrow War is not a MacGuffin hunt, even though it has a MacGuffin. It's pure condensed nonsense masquerading as a plotline, but at least it's not a MacGuffin hunt. And none of this is to be confused with an unfired Chekhov's gun. Chekhov's gun is a literary term suggesting that if you put something in a show, a movie, whatever, and you have drawn the audience's attention to it, it should be important. If you draw attention to Chekhov's gun, the gun should be fired at some point. It should be important. An unfired Chekhov's gun is something you have drawn someone's attention to, but doesn't actually matter to the plot. It is completely wasted time. It has nothing to do with anything. That's not clever writing. That's not a twist. That's not subversion. I could do an entire video on how the words twist and subversion have been arrogantly misused by people to write some of the most hilariously stupid stories I've ever seen in my life. Aha, we talked about how we're going off to hunt this MacGuffin, this Chekhov's gun item in The Last Jedi. We went off to the gambling planet. We found the guy. We did a whole adventure. Then we came back and it wasn't important, he left us and nothing happened. None of it did anything for the plot. It was total wasted time. Aha, but I've subverted your expectations by making you think it was important. No, that's not what a fucking subversion is. That's not what a twist is. What you've done is you've lied to the fucking audience and then bragged about them not knowing. Imagine if a teacher gave you a quiz and said it was going to be entirely on the Scarlet Letter, and then when quiz day came, they gave you a quiz where all the answers had to do with Snow Crash. Then the teacher bragged in your face about how much smarter and how much cleverer they were because look, you never could have guessed it was about something else. Of course we couldn't have known that because you fucking told us it was about the Scarlet Letter. We assumed that you telling the story weren't telling us to research something that was completely irrelevant. If you have highlighted Chekhov's gun, it should be fired at some point. If you have brought my attention to something, it should serve a purpose. Even if you are misleading me by making it seem as though it serves a different purpose than it does, it should still serve an actual purpose. So while Chekhov's gun is a literary term talking about how everything in the story should be important, if you've put something in a story and drawn their attention to it and it wasn't important, then that object is an unfired Chekhov's gun. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be an object. This could also be a rule or a reason they have put into a story but doesn't actually come into play. Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost being able to touch a lightsaber. That would seem to be something incredibly important, but it never comes up again because they didn't actually plan for that. Unfired Chekhov's guns are usually put in because you think it looks cool, or to pad out the runtime like you're the flat-chested character and you want to pretend you have more content than you do.
No! Too flat! What do you mean, too flat? What do you mean? I'm not, okay? I'm not. Okay?
I hope that's actually laid out for you what exactly a MacGuffin is and what a Chekhov's gun is. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, and let me know, do you want me to do a video on what a twist or a subversion was really supposed to be before it's been bastardized and misused in today? Twist endings are a great thing and all, but for some reason so many writers seem to think that a twist ending just means an ending that they didn't see coming. Someone who goes to a comedy show expecting jokes and you hit them in the back of the head with a fucking pike is unexpected and they never could have seen it coming, but I wouldn't consider that to be a subversive joke or a twist ending to the conversation. This always bugged me when I hear someone claim that they have a twist ending or they have subverted expectations, so I'm probably gonna do a video on it anyway. Feel free to let me know if that's something you'd be interested, or if you're not interested in it, well, it's my channel, I'm still gonna do it. And if the idea of me doing videos based on what I want to do rather than what a whole bunch of people watching the content that I make for absolutely no money want, then feel free to go down and explain your issues in the comments, and remember to be entertainingly angry.